Hey everybody, it's me, Remy the Comic Book Poser. I'm here today to welcome you to Enter the Poseverse. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're here to talk about all the books that I'm snagging on this week's new comic book day, the 10th of November. So to see what I'm picking up, and I think you should read along with me, you should check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Couple of quick things. Number one, sorry about the radio silence on Sunday and Monday. I was dealing with some sick family at home. We didn't have shenanigans Sunday because AM was dealing with some sickness in California as well, and I couldn't record my top picks video. So I think if all went according to plan, then I might have posted pictures of my top picks throughout Monday. But I didn't have time to record on most of Sunday afternoon or evening. That I'm doing this at like 1 o'clock in the morning after everybody's asleep. So I figured I'd do my pull list video, look and sound like shit, to get us the right tone for the rest of the week. Don't forget, on Thursday we got Shop Talk coming up, where we're going to talk about God knows what in new releases of comics, FOC things, whatever randomly pops into our head. And we'll have Shenanigans Sunday next Sunday, that hopefully everybody's healthy, nobody's, sick, dealing with sick kids. Toby will be 6 by then, so good God, I'm getting old. But without further ado, let's talk books. Alright, there are a lot of cool things coming out this week, and this is also a week of big number ones from Marvel. But we got Alien number 8 coming out. This is the second book of the new arc, third book of the new arc. But the Xenomorphs are overtaking the new settlement. Everything that's going on in space just feels like classic filthy Alien books, so I've been really enjoying this run a lot more than I thought I would. From Aftershock, we've got Almost American number 3 coming out. This is a good spy thriller about people who have defected from Russia and now trying to find their name in the US, that they are still trying to earn the fact that they should be trusted by the American government, while potentially dealing with some threats and fears from home. From Marvel, we got ASM number 78. I have loved the first 3 parts of the Beyond saga. That, number 77 made it in towards the top of my weekly pull list. That this is going to be another one that I read again. That I can't read who is taking the writing lead on this one, but I like how we might be getting solo Ben Reilly stories. We might get Ben Reilly versus Peter Parker. We might get some solo Parker in here. So I'm all about this. One of the big new releases from Marvel this week is the first issue of Black Panther is kicking off this week. That I read about 2/3 of the Coates run and just ran out of time, or it just fell further to the bottom of the stack. I'm hoping that I get this Scotty Young variant in my pull. If not, I'll take a standard A cover. I'm not going to complain too much, but I'm excited for that. From Aftershock, we've got Chicken Devil number 2. We love that on Shop Talk. A bunch of us talked about it the week it came out. Walk talked about it last week. So I want to see what happens in this ongoing comedy of errors as Mitchell is dealing with his life literally turning upside down. Next up is Croak number 1. We're going to talk about this in a second, because you're going to see the same cover with a different name also from Aftershock. So I don't know what's going on here. From Marvel, we've got the conclusion of Deadpool Black, White, and Blood. I've enjoyed this. You get 3 or 4 different stories going on in here. It's just been, Deadpool being Deadpool being Deadpool. We've got 2 X-Men books back-to-back, Excalibur number 25 and Hellion 17. I am so close to being caught up on both of these titles that I just started with Inferno number 1, so I'm getting closer and closer and closer to being caught up with my pile of X. From DC, we get the Joker number 9. I have enjoyed everything that has happened in this series so far. That I want to see what is happening now that, I think we're in France? But now, we're chasing the Joker around the globe, so I'm okay with that. From Image, we've got Man-Eaters, The Curse number 5. I've been in love with every issue of this book. I'm hoping, in seeing that this says end of the story arc, and not the end of the series, although it says the daring conclusion, I'm hoping we get something that follows what has happened here at Craft Camp with our young wizards and witches and fighting an army of frogs, plus what is happening with the parents who are off on their own world. From Dark Horse Comics, we got May's book number 3. Number 1 I was so-so on. I was really hooked to number 2 because we start to maybe see Will being able to dive into wherever his daughter might be trapped. That I really think Lemire is killing it both in terms of the art and the story for this one. So I want to see if Will finally enters the labyrinth and what's going on. Alright, here's the book that was listed above as Croak number 1, but is also listed as My Date with Monsters. I'm guessing it's the same book. I'm guessing this is the real name. But if I get something called Croak number 1, and it looks different, I'm still going to read it, because it's a number 1 from Aftershock. But we get somebody who's dealing with, like, holes in the dreamscape. This seems very Freddy Krueger-esque, but with the exception of all the, you know, nightmare and dreamscape murders, we now get nightmarish creatures walking the world. So I'm excited to check this out. From AWA, we get Out number 2. This is, you know, zombies, vampires, and World War II. Hell yeah. From Boom Studios, this is their big release of the week. It's Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body number 1. So, of course, I'll read any kind of conspiracy theory about anything. I'm all over the Department of Truth. I love reading conspiracy theory books. As a history teacher, I think it's, you know, a good way to kind of poke holes in our reality and looking into what's going on. So I'm excited to see, you know, how this ekes things in together. I've got the preview for this sitting in my email, so there's a good chance a preview of this might pop up on my website, which is listed in the description below. Next, from Image Skybound, is the 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton number 6. I feel like this might get pushed back a week because I think I just read number 5. But the Sidekicks finally know, or think they know, who's killed their asshole TV star, you know, or co-star that they've all been with. This has been a very good action book. It's also been funny looking at all of the different personalities that Trigger Keaton has worked with. And I keep getting sucked into the ad on the last page of all of the first 5 issues. I want to join the Trigger Keaton fan club, but it won't tell me where to send my shit. Next, from Humanoids, absolutely the first book I'm going to read this week is Space Bastards number 9. This is the official beginning of the second arc. That I think this is an absolute masterpiece. That you have Derek Roberson's art, which I think fits how gritty and bloody and over the top this story is. But also in terms of the art, or the story that is put together by Aubrey and Peterson, is just an interesting, batshit crazy space tale. We found a way to stop the destruction of the Space Postal Force at the end of issue number 7. So, yeah, or issue number 7 and 8, we had connections across the 2 of those. So I want to see what the next big hiccup they have to deal with. This book is absolutely insane. I love it so much, and I hope it lasts forever. Another Skybound book we got coming out this week is Stillwater number 11. We started to see the rise of the children in book number 10, in terms of, you know, them being older in terms of years of existence, but biologically younger than some of the special forces and whatnot that showed up. So, we think that they might have been the ones that have blown up the courthouse, but still aren't really sure. So the cover seems to make me think it's the kids, but we start to find out more of their motive. Another AWA book out this week is Telepaths number 3. The first 2 have been absolutely outstanding in terms of looking at how an EMP created, you know, new heroes. That if we are looking at this in terms of the bigger resistance kind of storyline, this is the first set of people who are empowered that don't come from surviving the pandemic. They're, you know, people who survived an EMP resetting and rebooting their brains. We start to see different people from different stations in life that gain some power. So I'm super intrigued to see what happens. Another number 1 from Marvel coming out this week is The Thing number 1. I'm checking this out mostly because I am intrigued by a lot of the things that I've seen Walter Mosley write, that while The Thing and Fantastic Four are not somebody you usually hear me talk about, there's just something seeing this book in the small solicitation paragraph that made me want to give it a try. 3 more books on my list. From Image, we have Undiscovered Country number 7. Ace is now going to reveal his moment of work that will potentially open the gate and help free the party from the zone of possibility. We've learned who the new enemy is in issues number 15 and 16, so I can't wait to see how they, overcome this new threat using Americana against redeployed Americana. I'm ready to party. The book that probably has the most hype coming out around it this week is clearly Venom number 1. That everything that Cates did on that run, was fantastic. The art was outstanding. Here we're getting it's Al Ewing taking over. So I want to see what happens in this new version of Venom in issue number 201. We'll see. They say it's one of the most ambitious books. Let's go. Next, we've got from Image, What's the Furthest Place from Here, number 1. I love Matthew Rosenberg. I love 4 Kids Who Walk Into a Bank, so seeing that Boss and Rosenberg are on this again together, hell yeah. You're going to hear me talk about this when I get my second printing and the deluxe version of the first printing. That I'm not a big vinyl person, but I love music. All of the deluxe and second printings of this series have like a 2 or 3 track vinyl that comes with it. So I've got those already pre-ordered from AMKM, and I'm excited to check them out, and I might even have to find a record player. And then the last book of the week, we've got White number 5. I've loved this through and through, that everything that is going on, between President Man and all of the superheroes of color is very interesting. Thaddeus, his son, has upgraded the suit to, take down these menacing superheroes. So I want to see how this war continues to evolve. I also think there's only one more issue left of that, because I think it's a 6-issue mini just like Black was. So what do you think? I know if you are, in the chat, then you're letting me know over here if there's anything that I should pick up or anything I should pass on. If you're watching this on the rewind, let me know in the comments down below. But I pick up things that y'all tell me to read. I was not going to pull that, Dark Knights of Steel book that somebody recommended in the comments. And holy shit, was good. There's a good chance that if I would have had the mental capacity to put my rankings together, it might have been my book of the week. It might have been my second favorite, but tell me what kinds of things you want me to read and look at and talk about. And then hop in with us on Thursday nights for Shop Talk, because we'll kick it around in the chat. You can join us on the show, and we'll talk about the books that you like. But as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.